the recovery and return of such funds to states of origin is a fundamental principle of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. Therefore, the international community must promote practical measures to strengthen international cooperation to recover and return stolen assets and to eradicate safe havens that facilitate illicit flows of funds from developing countries to the developed economies. There is also the urgent need to promote fair and inclusive tax regimes in the world. Nigeria helped introduce the resolution on promotion of inclusive and effective international tax cooperation at the UN. We acknowledge the progress made in the adoption of the terms of reference of the UN Framework Convention on Tax Cooperation. We should deepen this initiative and work towards a UN Framework Convention on Tax Cooperation. Similarly, we must ensure that any reform of the international financial system includes comprehensive debt relief measures to enable sustainable financing for development. Countries of the Global South cannot make meaningful economic progress without special concessions and a review of their current debt burden. The present administration pays due regard to the imperatives of creating a conducive national environment for investment and the ease of doing business. Last year, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed 4 executive orders to curb double taxation. The government also established the Presidential Task Force on review of fiscal policy and tax reform. These measures are geared towards not only boosting investor confidence in Nigeria, but also to ensure investors make reasonable profit from their investments. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, while the world is transitioning into the 4th industrial revolution, Africa remains energy deficient. The push for the accelerated implementation of SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, therefore, must take into account Africa's precarious situation. Nigeria believes that natural gas remains central to the search for solutions to the energy challenges that Africa and the international community face. Access to affordable, reliable, cleaner sources of energy is more than an environmental or developmental issue. It is a key factor in social peace and international security. Mr. President, Nigeria remains unwavering in its commitment to SDG 13, climate action, including the net zero ambition and transition from fossil fuel energy to clean energy. As a demonstration of this commitment, the government established the Presidential Committee on Climate Action and Green Economy Solutions and appointed a special presidential envoy on climate action. We will redouble our efforts to address the challenges posed by climate change, including the urgent need to transition from fossil fuel energy. Yet, such commitments must be juxtaposed with the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities and the relevant provisions of the Paris Climate Agreement back in 2015. The Paris Agreement provided for developed countries to take the lead in the quest to achieve net zero and to offer support, including finance, to developing countries for the actualization of the climate change goal. Worthy of note is the loss and damage funding for vulnerable countries secured at COP27 in Egypt and expanded in COP28 in the United Arab Emirates. It is our expectation that this year's 79th session of the UN General Assembly and the upcoming COP29 in Azerbaijan this November will go a step further by providing developing countries, especially African countries, with access to the loss and damage funds, including the $100 billion pledged by developed countries to mitigate the negative impacts of climate change. Mr. President, in this age of digital innovation, we must address the emerging divide between the Global South and the Global North, which, with the evolution of artificial intelligence, risks becoming wider still. The UN should work towards eliminating barriers to digital economy in Africa, such as high cost of internet services and intellectual property rights. More so, there is a need to work towards common global standards to regulate cryptocurrency trading platforms. This is the most effective way to provide confidence in these markets and limit the potential for instability. Our own experience in Nigeria, as in other countries, shows that new technologies, when not properly regulated, can facilitate organized crime, violent extremism, and human trafficking. In our own case, the trading of cryptocurrency helped fuel speculation and undermine macroeconomic reforms. Separately, we have also witnessed in rich and poor countries alike the corrosive impact of unfiltered hate speech and fake news across social media. There is much more that we could and should do together to strengthen those guardrails that will help release the most progressive elements of the new technologies shaping our world and curb those more destructive tendencies. Mr. President, we are particularly mindful of the imperatives of achieving the advancement of youth and women as a factor in national development, peace, and security. Nigeria has developed its own national action plan on women and security, as well as a national action plan on youth, peace, and security to ensure the participation of both women and youth in the peace and security sector. The summit of the future cannot be deemed successful without setting clear, ambitious, and achievable developmental goals to address the various challenges facing our youth. We are aware.
My Duguri Karl Marx in here. Somebody said my Duguri Elon Musk. The way he's talking about cryptocurrency, and then the debt burden on this African country, especially Nigeria and all that. About now, United Nations borrow their money. It is all just for cosmetic, so to say. He also added, asking for independence for Palestine and Gaza too.
Today, we are all witnesses to the heart-wrenching situation in Gaza and other Palestinian territories. We cannot discuss war and peace, conflicts and resolution, or humanitarian imperatives today without reflecting on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has been raging since 7th August last year. Of course, the conflict predates this period and has been simmering for a better part of half a century. What it tells us is that the international community has failed to live up to the spirit and aspirations of the United Nations to rid the world of inequality, violence, and domination of one people by another. Justice is antithetical to revenge. Freedom is an inalienable right and a natural entitlement that cannot be denied to any people. The Palestinian people deserve their independence. They deserve to have a home of their own in territories already recognized by this very assembly and by international law, which is being routinely ignored. Nigeria continues to urge efforts to bring back on track the two-state solution that offers the prospect for a new beginning for the region. Nigeria reaffirms to supporting United Nations peacekeeping operations. We recognize the need for Africa to build strong and professional armies to meet the multiple challenges we face. Consequently, we reiterate the call for international support to operationalize the African Standby Force, in addition to the provision of requisite support and resources to ensure the upgrade, take-up.
More live like that. So that was a Shettima trying to sound like, you know, I don't want to mock his accent, okay? Because even me, that I'm actually like, you know, talking here, some people will find my accent a little bit, you know, like, oh, what is he talking about? I have seen it, okay? I've had people who are like, sorry, I said, I'm sorry. So, what do you mean? What did you say? I said that. I'm so sorry. I don't understand what you're saying. So, oh God. So that's why I'm not going to like. I don't want us to laugh at his accent. We just have to. I mean, pick on what he said, which are pretty much like absolute jargons, nonsense. So today, so these guys destroyed Nigeria, and they are still busy doing it. In the last 15 months, they have taken IMF loans, World Bank loans that are further destroyed Nigeria economy, that have further destroyed businesses. And going out there to say that you have made Nigeria business friendly, when businesses are actually folding up and leaving Nigeria, where more and more people are becoming like unemployed, jobless, and businesses are dying. It has gotten so bad that APC, they did not only just borrow money, right? They have gone as far as using the future oil prospect, oil exploration in Nigeria. They have used it as collateral for money they have spent today. Last year, Tinubu's illegitimate regime approached Afrexim Bank. And Afrexim Bank, which is the African Exit and Imports Bank. Afrexim. So XIM, Export and Import. That's the joint. So you say African Export and Import Bank. You do not really know their investors. Okay? They are just there providing, facilities to countries, businesses that are ready to take their deal. Nigeria took $3.3 billion from them. Not because they took the money to invest it in power, so that Nigeria can have electricity, 24 hours electricity. Oh, no. They took the money. They said they used the money to fund supplementary budgets of 2023. Now, the rest of the money is being paid to them this year. And they said they are using that too to fund 2024 budgets. Inside the budgets, they are there buying themselves private jets, 2 private jets or presidential jets. Building 21 billion naira mansion for Shettima, giving over 200 billion naira to National Assembly members, 58 billion naira to National Assembly members, and on like that. They were borrowing money to take care of themselves, and they are using the future of Nigeria as collateral. How do you then go about and say, we need you to give us a debt relief? Because these conditions of this loan is going to make Africa very poor. And since Africa will be poor, they won't be able to meet their potential. And they will went there as well to go and solicit for the independence of Palestine. Yet they militarized the Igbo land because the Igbos want Biafra. They are killing and massacring people because they do not want to be part of this contraption anymore. But on the international stage, they are fighting for Gaza and Palestine. Do you see the hypocrisy? Now they are asking for debt relief. Mind you, they are expecting another $1.7 billion loan very soon from the World Bank. And part of the condition is you need to float your naira again. Oh. So this, just yesterday, Kadobi Dioduduwa Emefiole, he came up and said they are increasing the interest rates in order to fight inflation, pretending as if to say they are actually real economists when they are not. So in all of this, more businesses are dying. Government income or government revenue is dwindling. Not be person where they work, they pay tax. When you have more jobless people, yesterday, their statistics also came out. There are more of you have become more jobless. Why won't you? In their dubious way, remember they said that when Boko Haram was there, it became obvious that more than 60% of Nigerians, remember when Tinubu said 33% unemployed? Recruit. This was about 3 years ago. By the time Boko Haram left, officially, more than 70% Nigerians are jobless, unemployed. but they are living in that country. How are you living? How are you surviving? So if you have 70% of your citizens unemployed, that means you are done for. How are you going to actually like gain revenue? People will not get job, no, they pay tax now. You don't know. So immediately Tifnumbu came in. Instead of them to start recruiting 50 million youth, they decided to do abracadabra. They said, there are so many people that are employed. They are not captured. Yalata, Yaleja, person where they do vulcanizer, furniture, person where they do carpenter, this and that. These are also employed people. They are making more than 100,000 naira a month. These people are supposed to be captured. In the past, they were not captured. And that is why they keep saying 50% people, 60% unemployed. They now come back and said, Nigeria people, they are employed. I bet you last year, they said that the way they are calculating unemployment in Nigeria is wrong. Therefore, now only 5% Nigerians are unemployed. 5% Nigerians unemployed?
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the other thing. Take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, agbado, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps. We create our food. That's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm.
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax net. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of nuisance, Lily.
So at the end of the day, when they now gain power, they doctored the figure. They said, only 5.6, only 5% Nigerians are unemployed. So yesterday now they said, okay, more people are now unemployed. The economy tough. The deceit after deceit after deceit, deceit after deceit, and all that. Now, but will tell you now, yeah? So instead of going to the World Bank, instead of going to United Nations, to be talking about climate change and debt forgiveness, I beg you, go to the World Bank and tell them that you do not need their money anymore and all the conditions they are giving you. Maybe by so doing, they will stop setting the monetary policies for you. Abikilero, what do you think? Go, Lower Tifnumbu, and the gang. By the time they are done, even when the Nigeria will implode on them, they will still be telling themselves that they are doing well. And as for me and mine, in this temple of truth, on Mayegun's Diary Politico, we shall continue to keep the record. Brother, you know that, That's what this guy meant. Said, you know.
Many people are in the bank because many people are dying. Everything are doing. Pressure to what? Mazo Yoruba. Gbogbo nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀ ń lu yìí. Pressure ti wà. Èyí gbogbo ṣe sọ. Ṣé ìlú lé fún wa lówó wa ànówó wá sọ wá di lazy youth. Náà ẹ sọ wá di lazy youth. Òun ni mo wà ní táìmù yìí tí mi ò lè lọ bí iṣẹ́.
Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
Yesterday, there was this bombshell that got a lot of people talking. And it's because of Bob Toriski, our own Shimo brother, who was sentenced to 6 months in prison for defacing the Naira, that she was spending and spraying Naira at a party, and they convicted her on him. Anyway, I'm going to, Idris, okay, I don't want to offend people now because this is complicated, okay? I'm just going to say Shim. So they convicted Shim, right? And some of us kind of felt like that was extreme. Like the judge could just find Shim instead of jailing. Oh God, this is going to be difficult. Killing him, okay? But a very dark man came out yesterday. In fact, it was a day before that, well, there is this revelation, though. Something that a lot of you that felt like, hey, person will go jail. They look like this.
Hello, guys. It's your mommy of Lagos. What's up, guys? How are you?
So, they say convoy, so they need to slow down so that the convoy can.
Guys, I've missed you guys so much. I can't wait to have you guys. I can't wait to have you guys, like, give you guys what I've missed, what you guys have missed. I'm here. We love you. Okay, guys, please. Hello, guys. Finally, God is out to the glory of God. Thank God. Thank God for everything. Thank you. Hello, guys. It's your mommy of Lagos. What's up, guys? How are you?
Jay, help us, oh. Help us. There is God, oh. There is God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh.
And that got a lot of people. We just came out of prison. No, they look like that. No, they look plumb like that. Something is just not adding up. But some of us just decided to mind our business until a very dark man dropped a bombshell. No, he didn't. She didn't go to any prison. Or she went to a different prison and he paid for it. I'm sorry if you should know how to kind of understand this now because I may be using the interchangeably, right? He, she, shim, him, shim, and him, shim, like that, okay? I'll do my best because I know how kind of, how it can be, for a lot of us this way. And I do not intend to offend anybody that I identify as a she or as a him, as a they, whatever you want to identify as, okay? I live in a place whereby it's such a sensitive thing, okay? We are talking about Idris Okuneye, alias Bob Toriski. So when Very Dark Man now came out and said, well, there are so many people involved in this whole thing, and according to him, or should I actually just let him say? Some of you have seen the video, haven't you? But I'm just going to play it first. Then we'll react after. Because Nigeria is so corrupt that some people are beginning to feel like if they cannot even send somebody to jail, like normal, what is the point in EFCC chasing the Yahoo boys? If they cannot, if the system cannot actually send somebody to jail for real. And I'm like, welcome to Nigeria.
Yes, all right. In respect to Bobrisky, what I'm about to post now, a lot of names will be mentioned. These are people that I also respect, and I believe a lot of Nigerians respect them as well. I am very, very disappointed in the agencies that are involved in this. And